We were in a Cobb County detention center. He got out before me, so I explained to him the kind of work I would want him to do for me.
He was talking to me in regards to the whole situation. There was threats that were made to myself as well as my children, and that's when things kind of took a dramatic turn.
Be a man and stand on your word. Don't be a liar.
Plaintiff Kenneth Emerson Smith is suing his former friend for $2,600 for unfinished car repairs. Defendant Michael Kopak claims the plaintiff took the car back before he was done. He says he owes nothing.
Witness, please approach the stand. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you. The witness can have a seat. The Honorable Judge Jerry Springer now presiding. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Najee.
This is case number 145 on the docket, Smith versus Kopak.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, Judge.
I see here we have the plaintiff, Kenneth Emerson Smith. And Kenneth, you are suing your former friend, Michael Kopak, for $2,600 for an unfinished car repair job. So let's start with you then, Kenneth. What do you got?
Me and Michael, we became friends. We were in a Cobb County detention center. We met last year.
Yes.
We played poker. We hit it off quite well. We became friends. He explained to me that he was a master mechanic. I explained to him that I was a chef. I explained to him that I had a thing for old cars. He told me that he specializes in foreign cars, but he would do any kind of car. So I told him that I would keep in touch with him, and we would just try to keep in touch until I get out. And whenever I did purchase a car, I would come straight to him. I did exactly what I said. We ended up touching bases on Facebook. I was still in a transitional center. He got out before me, and I was explaining to him that I wanted to purchase a car for my wife first. So he went and looked at one car that wasn't to his liking, so we didn't get that one. But the second one, he ended up purchasing a Pathfinder for my wife, and everything went well. So, I mean, the trust was there with him. So a couple of weeks later, I ended up finding a car on Facebook Marketplace, a 1992 Monte Carlo. And you can see the pictures in Exhibit A that you have, sir.
That's a pretty car.
So,
that's really cool.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yeah. I love the car. I love the car. Yes, sir. So Michael and my wife went to go see my wife, Danielle. Both of them,
yes,
they went to go purchase the car. So when he went, I asked Michael, was there anything that he's seen that was out of the ordinary with the car? He was like, the car was in immaculate condition. He did notice that it was a little rock in the motor, that he would have to change the motor mounts. It needed brakes too also, so it couldn't be driven off the property. So Michael explained to me that he had a friend of his who towed cars, and he would charge $100 to do that. So I'm like, cool, that's cool. So my wife gave him the cash for that, and my wife and him went to his house. When the car got there, we talked about everything, about the pricing on stuff, on the AC, the motor mounts, and to do the little brake job, he told me it'd be $1,000. Yep. So my wife gave him $1,100, $100 for the towing, and another $1,000 for the AC and the brakes and the motor mounts. As the days passed, he told me that he miscalculated the parts and stuff for the car, and that it'd be a little more money. So I asked him how much. He said it'd be another $1,000, but everything would be taken care of. So I'm like, cool, fine. You know,
how much in total?
I'm not thinking.
How much in total? Hold on. How much in total did you give him?
$3,850, sir. I went to go just check on the car to see what kind of progress he's been making on the car. It wasn't nothing done with the car. So I waited like 2 weeks, and it's like maybe like the middle of August, like on my wife's birthday.
Your Honor, unfortunately, due to COVID, there was a lot of shipping issues that were going on. I'm actually still experiencing those today, and there's still parts that were ordered that haven't even arrived to my house yet.
Your Honor, when I went there, he had pulled off the front of the car, where it keeps like the radiator and the fan, and he told me that he doesn't like the way the radiator looks, he doesn't like the way the water pump looks. He think you might need new head gaskets, so he was like, I'm gonna do all this work for you if you want me to. I mean, it's nothing that we have to do, but if you want me to, I'll go ahead and take care of this too. I was like, well, how much is that gonna be, Michael? He told me $750. So I said, cool, go ahead, take care of everything, because when I get out, I just want to jump straight in my car and ride. I don't want to have no problems. I want to take it, put a little paint job. It was just little minor things that I wanted to do to the car. So I sent him the money for that.
When you finally decided to take the car away from him, What?
Yes, sir.
What was not done?
The AC, the initial payment for the AC, the $2,000, that wasn't done. He put motor mounts. The brakes, I ended up having to go get the brakes done from Mavis. I did that like 2 days ago, so the brakes was not done. Only thing he did, he said he did the headers, but I had a mechanic go back over and look. He didn't do the headers. He said he installed a radiator. The radiator was not installed. It was just 2 cords hooked to the, I'm not a mechanic, so I don't know a lot, but it was 2 cords done to the radiator. It was not installed.
Okay, hold on. What I want to know is
What
the
did he do?
$3,800 you paid him, what items were not yet done? You're telling me the air condition wasn't done, and I think in your
No.
statement you said something about the alarm not being done yet.
The alarm wasn't even there. He never even had the alarm.
Okay. All right. Michael, what do you have to say? This is your chance.
Yes, Your Honor. As he said, we did meet in the Cobb County Jail, and there was a lot of trust that was built. And in the process, I was doing a lot of work on his car. When he started talking about coming to get the car, the parts that were available is what was thrown into his car. The radiator, it was there.
thrown.
Everything is there. If you look through the pictures that I have as well, you will see that the intake is not off like he's saying. The fan itself was still off, but there's a lot of stuff that was on there and installed. It was just waiting for the final pieces to come in before it could actually be
I get
bolted down.
What part are you waiting on that you couldn't move ahead because you're waiting on these parts?
The AC mounting brackets I had to reorder because they did not fit correctly when we ordered them. So we did have to try to modify them to fit, and in the process of that, I did mess them up. I was honest about that. And so we had to order a new set so we could mount the compressor.
And how much was that?
The mounting brackets itself was $183, I believe. I do not have the receipt for that. I've actually had a little hard time getting some of the receipts. Just for example, the radiator, I cannot get the receipt to that, but you clearly see in the picture it's there.
What I want to know is he paid $3,800 for a whole bunch of parts, and I want to know what isn't in there yet. So far, you're telling me the air conditioning.
The AC is there. It's just the mounting brackets that was not there.
It's the brackets.
Condenser
Okay.
was not
What about the alarm?
The brackets.
What
and
about the
condenser.
alarm?
The alarm was not there yet. I did have an alarm. We had some problems out of it. It turned out to not be a good alarm.
Okay, how much?
So I did take it back.
Ballpark, how much was the alarm?
I think it was around $300. And the radio that we picked up, he was not happy with as well. And so when he picked the car up, he started talking about returning some of these parts to me, which he never did. So I can't return them or do anything with them if he doesn't bring them back to me as well.
Your Honor?
Yes.
He did ask Michael for the receipts before he even picked up the car. When he told him it wasn't going to be ready, he asked him, he said, I need you to get those receipts because I'm sending this stuff back. The car went from Michael's house to another mechanic's shop that day. And that man, we ordered the parts. The guy sent us the links to everything that he needed.
From
And
the
we actually
manufacturer.
ordered those parts ourselves. He got those parts in less than a week, even with COVID still going on. And he got the bulk of the work done in one day.
Is the car now completely done?
Pretty much. Right
From the-
now it's at the it's actually at a place to get the stereo system and the alarm system put in as of last night.
And I have receipts for everything, Your Honor. And plus, Your Honor, I asked Michael.
And how much
specifically-
did those receipts come to complete the work? How much did those receipts come to?
Almost $4,000, sir. $1,400 for the audio. I paid $2,000 in parts and $1,200 in labor
And then the brakes. He just got the brakes
Then I-
done for $1,100 yesterday.
yesterday.
Michael?
I have receipts for all this stuff, sir.
As he was talking to me in regards to the whole car situation and wanting to pick it up and I guess get the situation corrected, there was some words that were being said, and that's when things kind of took a dramatic turn as far as not only the friendship but the business side goes. There was threats that were made to myself as well as my children. As you can see in Exhibit A through the text message, there was a threat that was verbally made towards my children, and he even texted me apologizing pretty much, saying he knew he was wrong. His wife even told him he was wrong for the threat. And to be honest, sir, at that point, that's when I kind of got to the point where I was a little hesitant as far as meeting up with him to establish, you know, what we can work out as far as the car goes. There's a lot more work that was done, as you can see by the pictures, than what he's given credit for. And I just believe that the price he's demanding, not asking, but demanding, is a little out of hand.
So, Your Honor, initially, if you look in those texts, he asked him he said he wanted $1,700 back from the initial payment. Michael stopped responding. Michael wouldn't answer. He didn't even meet him the day he knew he was coming to get the car. He wasn't even there. He said, oh, the key's under the mat. I had something else to do. But if you look at evidence H, you'll see the text message between him and Michael. I think that was like the day before he picked up the car or the day of he picked up the car. Initially, he asked him for $1,700. The point where he's saying about this threat, that came out of frustration. My husband wasn't sleeping that night. Like, literally, every time he got excited, like, he loved his car. He wanted this. This is something he did for himself. He couldn't sleep at night. Mike would call him the day before the car was supposed to be ready for pickup. He's all excited and say, oh, I need more time. So the frustration kept building up, and he asked him, how would you feel? Like, why are you doing this to me? How would you feel if I did this to you? And Mike said, well, I understand what you're saying, but I'm trying. I'm working hard to get it done. I'm not giving you the runaround. But that's exactly what was happening.
And the work that he did do was pennies, Your Honor. It was like pennies, like the air compressor. I Googled most of the stuff that he even purchased. He might have spent $400 or $500, sir. You know what I mean? He's saying he don't have receipts because he know how much he paid for this stuff. Like, I went back and purchased better stuff than what he purchased. I asked him for a rear view camera for my car. He said, yeah, I'm gonna get that. He went to Walmart. Walmart and Amazon is the only person who carries this CD player that he purchased for my car.
How much did you spend on parts?
The radio, the parts that were ordered, I would have to say around $1,700, $1,800 as far as parts goes without the alarm.
And how many hours of work did you put in?
It was days. I didn't really keep track of the hours itself. I mean, it was just, it's a lot of work trying to redo a lot of this stuff.
And I did threaten his kids.
The suit is for, he wants $2,600 back because the job wasn't completed. But the $1,800 that you spent for parts that are still there, if I take that away from the $3,850, we're basically dealing with around $2,000. Because there was obviously labor involved, I'm zeroing in on a number here, whereby Michael would be paid, is entitled to the money for which he bought parts, and certainly for a little bit of the labor. You're asking for $2,600 of the $3,800 you paid.
Yes, sir. I was just trying to be reasonable with Michael, sir, because I
understand.
I still look at him as a friend, sir. Like, I don't have no
Can this friendship be repaired?
I'm happy because I even have my car. I end up paying another $4,000. I just wanted my car, sir. That's what was hurting me. You know what I mean? I put a lot of money into that car, and I mean, it was just wrong on his part. Like, he's saying he spent $1,700, sir. Sir, show me where you spent. Like, it's not adding up to $1,700 in parts. I only have a radiator, a water pump. All this stuff is like $80, $100, and it's not adding up to that, sir.
And it's in the trunk, Your Honor.
It's in the,
Michael, where is the $1,800? You don't have the receipts for that?
Not for all of it, sir. That's what I was explaining. Like the radiator, I do not have a receipt for the radiator, but as you could see by the pictures, there's clearly a new radiator in there. I'm having a hard time getting a lot of receipts that were done electronically and things of that nature, so I have had problems, and
the receipt should be in the email, sir.
That's how we pulled ours.
Okay. I got the receipts that I do have, and the others I've
Okay, but here's the thing, Michael. He's suing you for $1,450 less than the amount he paid you. So there is room there. Now, you two did have a friendship, and there was trust, and I believe you did work. I believe you did buy some things about it. What's your view of this friendship here? He wants to still be a friend. Can you still be his friend?
There was some threats made, and I take those kind of personal, so I'm not really
Okay.
sure.
All right. It's not, the friendship is not conditional on how I decide to suit. So I'm just asking in general, just whether this can be put together. So here's what I find, since you don't have the receipts, since his lawsuit is for $2,600, which is $1,450 less than you were given, and I think it's fair to assume, even without receipts, that you probably got $1,450 worth of materials there or work. Based on that, I find the suit reasonable, and I find for the plaintiff $2,600.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Be a man and stand on your word. Don't be a liar all your life.
I don't really have much to say to him. I forgive him for the threats, but I just don't think I'll ever have anything to do with him again.
It's no hard feelings or nothing towards him. I mean, it is what it is. It's okay. And that's about it. You got anything you want to say, baby?
I just like to say you live and you learn, and going forward, we won't be making any money transactions without the work being completed.
Hey YouTube, thanks for watching. For more Judge Jerry, click here. For more Jerry Springer, click here.